Welcome to NISH News Weekly Broadcast. Regional News. KSRTC Swift, the company formed for operating the long-distance buses of the Kerala State Road Transport Corporation, KSRTC, for 10 years, began services when Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan inaugurated the first trip to Bengaluru from Thiruvananthapuram. The new company will operate 4 Volvo sleeper services to Bengaluru from Thiruvananthapuram and 6 bypass rider services from Thiruvananthapuram to Kozhikode, Mananthavadi and Kannur. Kerala Maritime Board is planning to develop a string of minor ports in the state by ensuring adequate infrastructure and amenities. The first among 17 minor ports to benefit from this would be Kollam Port. The managing director of the State Maritime Board, N.S. Pillai, said that this will help the cargo movement very much. The State Maritime Board came into being in 2017 in the state after the central government directed the state governments to set up maritime boards to take care of minor ports, replacing the port department. Over to national news. The Health Ministry has announced that precaution doses of COVID vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield would be made available to all adults at private vaccination centers at 225 rupees. Following the announcement, the vaccine manufacturers Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech announced that private hospitals should make available their vaccines at the revised rate effective from April 10, 2022. In the national capital, Delhi, some centers were found charging the pre-revised rates but later got corrected when the manufacturer's directive reached the centers. Indian Air Force choppers rescued 10 of the 15 tourists who remained trapped in cable cars over the Trikut Hills in Jharkhand's Deoghar district for more than 40 hours following a technical snag. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren announced a high-level probe into the incident which caused over 50 people to remain stuck mid-air and said the administration was keeping a close watch on the rescue operations. Altogether, 50 people have been rescued so far from the cable cars after a malfunction on the 770-meter ropeway to the Trikut Hills, a popular tourist spot, while 2 died, including a person who fell during the rescue attempt. 12 people who sustained injuries are being treated in hospitals. Many of the tourists who were stranded had to go without food or water as rescuers could not access their cable cars. The rescue operation is primarily being conducted by the Indian Air Force with assistance from the Indian Army, Indo-Tibetan Border Police ITBP, National Disaster Response Force NDRF, and the district administration. Over to international news. The 2022 Sri Lankan political crisis is due to the power struggle between President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and the Parliament of Sri Lanka. The crisis was fueled by the anti-government protests and demonstrations by the public and also due to the worsening economy of Sri Lanka since 2019. The anti-government sentiment across various parts of Sri Lanka has created political instability, creating shockwaves in the political arena. The political crisis began on 3rd April 2022 after all 26 members of the second Gotabaya Rajapaksa cabinet, with the exception of Prime Minister Rajapaksa, resigned overnight. Reports said that the resignation was not valid as they did not follow the constitutional protocol, and several were reinstated in different ministries the next day. Protesters have taken to the streets to show their anger and displeasure over the mismanagement of the economy by the government, and they urge the president to immediately step down for a political change. The high price for essential food items, Unemployment and severe economic crisis are forcing people to flee Sri Lanka to neighboring countries. Sri Lankan doctors are seeking urgent medical supplies to treat and save newborns needing emergency care. Protest by the people in Colombo is continuing by braving heavy rains and fatigue. Pakistan's opposition leader Shehbaz Sharif sworn in as a prime minister after the ouster of former Prime Minister Imran Khan through a no confidence vote. Mr. Sharif was elected unopposed in the National Assembly after days of uncertainty over the no confidence motion against Imran Khan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wished the new Prime Minister of Pakistan a message of peace. Mr. Sharif, in reply, said that Pakistan desires good ties with India and it is only possible with the resolution of the Kashmir dispute. India and the US are holding the fourth annual 2 plus 2 Defense and Foreign Ministry dialogue in Washington, with the Russian invasion of Ukraine looming over the discussions and occupying a prominent place on the agenda. The other topics for discussion are defense, science and technology, climate and public health, building supply chains, and improving people to people ties. Over to sports news. Over 4,500 participants representing around 190 universities will vie for top honors in the Khelo India University Games, which commences on April 24 at Bengaluru. Jain University will be the host university. 13 disciplines, including swimming, shooting, yogasana, track and field events, etc., will be held in different venues. Special news. Eminent Assamese poet Neelamani Phukan was conferred the 56th Jnanapith Award. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma and the chairperson of Jnanapith Selection Board Pratibha Rai handed over the trophy, check, and other mementos to the 88-year-old celebrated poet, known for his pro-people writings. Most of the poems of the poet Neelamani Phukan are rich in quality and have beautiful pictures of nature. With this news, we come to the end of NISH News Weekly broadcast. I am Mona Shah, ISL faculty at NISH, signing for you along with Ms. Sylvie Maximena, NISH faculty. See you again next week. Thank you.